Chapter 26, Jason. Jason was afraid they'd lose their target. The Ventus moved like the wind. "Speed up," he urged. "Bro," Leo said, "if I get any closer, he'll spot us. Bronze Dragon ain't exactly a stealth plane." "Slow down," Piper yelped. The storm spirit dove to the grid of the streets below. Festus tried to follow, but his wingspan was way too wide. His left wing clipped the edge of a building, slicing off a stone gargoyle before Leo pulled up. "Get above the buildings," Jason suggested. "We'll track him from there." "You want to drive this thing?" Leo grumbled, but he did what Jason asked. After a few minutes, Jason spotted the storm spirit again, zipping through the streets with no apparent purpose, blowing over pedestrians, ruffling flags, making cars swerve. "Oh, great," Piper said. "There's two." She was right. A second Ventus blasted around the corner of the Renaissance Hotel and linked up with the first. They wove together in a chaotic dance, shooting to the top of a skyscraper, bending a radio tower, and diving back down towards the street. "Those guys do not need any more caffeine," Leo said. "I guess Chicago's a good place to hang out," Piper said. "Nobody's going to question a couple of more evil winds." "More than a couple," Jason said. "Look." The dragon circled over a wide avenue next to a lakeside park. Storm spirits were converging, at least a dozen of them, whirling around a big public art installation. "Which one do you think is Dylan?" Leo asked. "I want to throw something at him." But Jason focused on the art installation. The closer they got to it, the faster his heart beat. It was just a public fountain, but was unpleasantly familiar. Two 5-story monoliths rose from the either end of the long granite reflecting pool. The monoliths seemed to be built on video screens, flashing the combined image of a giant face that spewed water into the pool. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but it looked like a high-tech, supersized version of that ruined reflecting pool he'd seen in his dreams, with those two dark masses jutting from either end. As Jason watched, the image on those screens changed to a woman's face with her eyes closed. "Leo," he said nervously. "I see her," Leo said. "I don't like it, but I see her." Then the screens went dark. The venti swirled together into a single funnel cloud and skittered across the fountain, kicking up a waterspout almost as high as the monoliths. They got to its center, popped off a drain cover, and disappeared underground. "How did they just go down a drain?" Piper asked. "How are we supposed to follow them?" Maybe we shouldn't," Leo said. "That fountain thing is giving me seriously bad vibes. And aren't we supposed to, beware the earth?" Jason felt the same way. But they had to follow. It was their only way forward. They had to find Hera, and now they had only 2 days until the solstice. "Put us down in the park," he suggested. "We'll check it out on foot." Festus landed in an open area between the lake and the skyline. The sign said Grant Park, and Jason imagined it would have been nice to go to this place in the summer, but now it was a field of ice, snow, and salted walkways. The dragon's hot metal feet hissed as they touched down. Festus flapped his wings unhappily and shot fire into the sky, but there was no one around to notice. The wind coming off the lake was bitter cold. Anyone with the sense would be inside. Jason's eyes stung so badly he could barely see. They dismounted and Festus the dragon stomped his feet. One of his ruby eyes flickered so it looked like he was blinking. "Is that normal?" Jason asked. Leo pulled a rubber mallet from his tool bag. He whacked the dragon's bad eye, and the light went back to normal. "Yes," Leo said. "Festus can't hang around here, though. In the middle of the park, they'll arrest him for loitering. Maybe if I had a dog whistle." He rummaged in his tool belt, but came up with nothing. "Too specialized?" he guessed. "Okay, give me a safety whistle. They got a lot of those in machine shops." This time Leo pulled out a big plastic orange whistle. "Coach Head would be jealous. Okay, Festus, listen." Leo blew the whistle. The shrill sound probably rolled all the way across Lake Michigan. "You hear that? Come find me, okay? Until then, you fly wherever you want. Just try not to barbecue any pedestrians." The dragon snorted, hopefully in agreement. Then he spread his wings and launched into the air. Piper took one step and winced. "Ah!" "Your ankle?" Jason felt bad he'd forgotten about her injury back in the Cyclops factory. "That nectar we gave you might be wearing off." "It's fine." She shivered, and Jason remembered his promise to get her a new snowboarding coat. He hoped he lived long enough to find her one. She took a few more steps with only a slight limp, but Jason could tell she was trying hard not to grimace. Let's get out of the wind, he suggested. Down a drain? Piper shuddered. Sounds cozy. They wrapped themselves up as best they could and headed towards the fountain.